Hey everybody, welcome back to Bestiary Boys, where we talk about bestiaries and monster manuals. But before we get into today's monster, we screwed up. Every week we ask people, hey, totally send us some stuff, email us some stuff. And yeah, we forget to check our email sometimes. So we're going to do that first. This is actually from the Chaos Demon episode, which I will link up above, so I highly suggest you guys go check that out. So this artwork will make sense, but this one was sent to us by Brad from Squadeth Games, I believe. So Brad, really sorry, man, about not checking the email. I promise I'll get better about it. Joey, maybe we should like tag team it to make sure we don't miss stuff in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, Chaos Demon, here's his art. I'm going to put it up here on the screen so you guys can see it. Really damn cool. He says, I'll read his email really briefly. He says, hey guys, love the show and your deep dives into the various creatures of Dragonbane. I suck at drawing, but here's the image that came into my brain when thinking about a Chaos Demon. Keep up the awesome work. Well, thanks, Brad. And you can draw, dude. You can draw. This is a drawing, man. This is art. It's very recognizable as a demon of some kind. So yeah, Joey, why don't you break down what we're looking at here for the people who might be just listening?
Well, it looks like it's totally like on the album of like a punk rock cover. Yeah, collaged with many other drawings like this one. But this bad boy, he's got yellow wings, big purple horns. He's got gruesome, nasty yellow teeth that are super sharp, super big. And he's got huge eyebrows, which I like. He looks, I love it. He looks fun.
Yeah, he looks very devious. Looks like he's up to something. I think my favorite part is how his arms look like they're almost coming out from behind his head.
Yeah,
he's like kind of hung. Yeah, he's scrunched up. He's kind of bending over a little bit. It looks like it could be almost perched on something as well. But yeah, cool stuff. Kind of reminds me of like almost Cartoon Network style artwork in a way.
Yeah, it makes me think of like 90s cartoon style.
Yeah, totally.
Ed and Eddie, Powerpuff Girls, that era.
Yeah. So this guy is definitely up to something. But Brad, thanks, man. Again, sorry for not checking our email. I swear we'll do it next time. I need to make a reminder or just double up, triple up on my notifications. But anyway, this week, Joey, what are we talking about?
We're talking about chimichangas.
Chimichangas, and we forgot to bring our chimichangas to the show.
Yeah, the CHIMERA.
CHIMERA. So let's start with a quote, and I love this quote. I absolutely love this quote because I'm not a big CHIMERA fan. I'll say it right now. It's kind of a generic, wonky looking monster. I know a lot of guys out there, or guys and girls out there listening to us or watching us, want me to love every single monster. I think the only Bestiary Boys episode we got that had some downvotes was for the ones where we were criticizing the monster, and it was the Blood Demon. So CHIMERA fans, I'm sorry. Yeah, this monster's, it's kind of goofy, but Free League, thank you so much, Free League, for poking fun at it, because we have an individual named Ludifor Mida, who is a mage's apprentice, and he says, the mage who created the chimeras was an idiot. First of all, a goat. Secondly, why not start over from scratch with a dragon, a giant, and a full-grown sea serpent? So they're clearly having some fun here, poking fun at how ridiculous this thing looks. And I mean, speaking of which, let's check out the artwork. So David Brascala did the best he could, man. I feel like he did the best he could, because it's a lion with a goat coming out of its back, as well as a tail of a serpent. So what are your thoughts, Joey, on the artwork here?
I mean, the art is amazing, but yeah, it's a very vanilla monster. It's Greek mythology. I do like that he gave the lion ram horns as well.
That is a cool touch. I will agree with you there.
Yep, I like that. I mean, and that's a beefy looking monster. Like, it looks pissed, and I like that this chimera, all three of them look on point. because I might be remembering incorrectly, but I always think that often chimeras in Greek mythology, like they don't get along really well. Like that's one of their weaknesses, is that they don't really fight together. But these guys look like they all see whatever the victim is about to be here.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know much about chimeras, like I know their origin and all that, but as far as like how they behave in mythology, I'm not super familiar with. So guys in the comments, let us know how you feel about chimeras. Do you feel like this art did it justice? Do you also think it's kind of a weak monster? Not weak in the sense of it being able to attack you well or not, but weak as in stylistically, let's say. But enough hate. Let's kind of move on. I don't want to turn this into a hate thing because I appreciate what Free League did here. They did their best, man. They did their best with this classic creature. So the Chimera is most likely created magically merging at least 3 common animals. It has the front body of a lion, as depicted here, the head of and hindquarters of a goat, and a poisonous snake for a tail. And here we go. The chronicler is addressing her traveling companion, Virdal, who we remember. What was the creature he was? Oh, it was the centaurs, I think. They had kind of a dispute about in terms of Virdal thought like they were mystical forest protectors, and the chronicler was like, nah, these guys are just
jerks,
hooligans, basically. But anyway, Virdal assures me that he has seen scrolls describing experimental rituals that, if they really worked, could concoct such a creature. The answer to some archmage's nightmare or morbid wish. Regardless, the chimera is a ferocious predator that can easily tear even a large prey to pieces. With 3 creatures to feed, the monster is virtually insatiable and constantly searching for food. It can wreak havoc on livestock. And it is not uncommon for 1 or 2 shepherds to be killed as well. So I like that little touch there, where they use the fact that it has kind of 3 monsters at one, to where it has this insatiable desire just to eat and eat and eat. It's got three mouths to feed, so to speak. So I like how they tied that in with the behavioral aspects of the chimera, at least.
3 mouths to feed. That I would, if I were to think about it hard enough, and I always do, 3 different mouths that have 3 different diets. Can you imagine the goats trying to eat grass and the lion's like, oh, there's a human.
That's a good
just
point.
Trying to eat grass.
Yeah, because I mean, the lion carnivore, goat herbivore, the snake, I guess carnivore. So the goat eggs. And eggs, basically, animal products, right? But then this poor goat stuck in the middle, just wanting some grass.
Just want some grass.
That would be cool, actually, to expand upon this creature in such a way. I guess you could either use it for, I don't know, comedic value in a way, but I think maybe it would have been cool to maybe make the goat, because the other 2 animals are carnivorous, to make the goat like a warped carnivorous goat or something like that with fangs. Might have been neat.
Yeah.
But regardless, how do these things attack us? What do they do? What are they up to, Joey, with the stat blocks?
Well, they are extremely dangerous. So this creature is, of course, large. It has a ferocity of 3, 1 attack pretty much for each head that it carries. Its movement is 14, has no armor, has a beefy 42 hit points. And here's a cool thing. It has 3 pairs of eyes. A chimera has 3 pairs of eyes, and it is very difficult to surprise. Any attempt to use sneaking against the monster is rolled with a bane. I think it maybe should have been rolled with 2 banes, like double bane, but a bane's good.
Yeah, double bane, because, or triple bane even. I don't know. Maybe that's too crazy.
Yeah, that'd be too crazy.
It's got 3 heads, right?
Got 3 heads.
So, I guess 2 would be better, because then it's got, standard would be none, and then 2 more, major banes.
So let's see for its attacks. The first one is claw attack. It lunges at an opponent, tearing them with its sharp claws. This inflicts 2d8 slashing damage and knocks the victim down. Then it can attack with its lion jaws, which is 2d10 slashing damage. That's heavy hitting. Then it's got its goat head. It can but the victim with its go-ahead, the attack deals 2d6 bludgeoning damage and will leave you dazed. The snake bite has some reach to it, 4 meters, so 2 squares, and it delivers venomous bite, so it inflicts a d8 of piercing damage. If the victim takes damage, they are also injected with a lethal poison of potency 15. You don't want poison in this game. It's actually pretty damning. Then, all at once, the Chimera pounces on an opponent, directs all its attacks at the unfortunate victim. So that's brutal. At whoever this gets, they're getting all of it. This attack deals 2d10 slashing damage, 2d6 bludgeoning, and a d8 piercing. Armor protects against each of these, so that's a little forgiving. Each damage, your armor shaves off a little. If the piercing damage penetrates the armor, the victim is injected with that lethal poison, though. Potency of 15. And then last but not least, cacophony. The Chimera roars, bleats, and hisses in a deafening cacophony. Everyone within 10 meters must make a will roll to resist fear. Fear on something that has ferocity 3, like if 2 party members, and if half of your party gets feared, that's really bad. They're not doing much to help you once it starts attacking the rest of the party. It's a pretty dangerous monster.
Yeah, I'm curious why they. I guess it doesn't matter. It's all, there's 6. It's a 6-sided die, so everything's equal. But I've just kind of been noticing the way they've tailored these attacks to kind of go from, I don't want to say weakest, but most general to most complex. I'm curious why they didn't put the fear one higher, but I like the all at once thing. That is brutal as hell. It was probably difficult to come up with creative attacks for this thing because, it's pretty much like, okay, it's got 3 heads. We'll do an attack per head. And then shit, what else? How about an all for one kind of thing where you get just completely trounced by that's, 2d10, 2d6, d8, that's pretty damn gnarly. So this is not a creature that you would throw at your player characters just casually. Not at all. And
I think the only thing I would have done differently is I would have at least maybe given it 1 armor or 2, because a lion's mane, that's literally what its mane's purpose is to serve when it fights other lions. It's a big protective wad of thick fur.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was to attract the ladies. The lionesses.
Well, it does both. Yeah. And then, of course, it probably has a primordial pouch that we can't see. That's also for protecting in fights, too.
Yeah, I thought maybe like a goat kick, I guess, or a mule kick kind of thing. That might be kind of a typical attack because it does have hooves on the back end of it. But overall, kind of what I would expect. I guess with the exception of the all at once, I didn't expect that because that could be deadly as hell, man. That's a lot of damage to take, even from somebody who is a well armored, I guess. Because as we know, Dragonbane hit points don't go very high, so that could be rough. And again, GMs out there, remember, if you're playing this like I play it, where these are all random attacks, I do not choose the attacks. There's nowhere in here that it says, because sometimes the monster attacks do say this, that, this cannot happen more than twice in a row.
Right.
It does not say that here for all at once. So this could be one after the other, potentially.
Yeah, so I really think it should have had that, because if all at once happened twice in a row, that'd be really bad.
Yeah. This could be easy TPK material for sure. Yeah. And everything else, there's nothing really weak about this thing. Fear, like we mentioned, could be incredibly detrimental, and it could paralyze you. It could make you run the other direction. Lots of things. Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about these encounters and the adventure seeds. So the random encounter goes like this. The player characters come across the bodies of 2 large minotaurs that have fallen in battle, which reminds me of the minotaurs in Path of Glory, which you guys have not encountered yet. So I'm curious if that was some inspiration there. But they've obviously suffered terrible bites, slashes, and blunt force trauma. But if you roll a healing roll, and this is something I rarely do, and I feel like it doesn't come to mind for me when you guys are investigating things like wounds and stuff. I always think like, roll an awareness, or not awareness, but like, I don't know, intelligence or something like that. But healing totally makes sense. And what's funny about healing is oftentimes you guys, healing is, I don't want to call it a dump skill, but or not, but like it's very few people are specialized in healing, so
yeah,
it could be a valuable way to recognize stuff like that. But they were, of course, killed by the chimera or a chimera. When the player characters came clumping along, it left its prey to hide in the bushes. When an opportune moment presents itself, the chimera attacks! Exclamation point. Which is kind of funny. All of the Dragonbane attacks always have exclamation points after. It kind of makes me laugh a little bit. But I mean, it's an okay. I don't know. I wish there was a little bit more meat around who these minotaurs are, or I don't know, something other than, hey, I killed minotaurs. I'm hiding in the bushes. Here I am. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. But anyway, we'll move on to the adventure seed. So this one's a little bit different. A local goat farmer needs help. A monster is taking her goats one by one, leaving only bloody tufts of fur. The player characters must track the culprit to its lair. It turns out that two chimeras are taking the goats to feed their defenseless young. Okay, so it's feeding the pups. And how should the player's characters deal with the situation? If they kill the adults and get their hands on little ones, they can surely make a tidy profit by selling them to some magic warlord or noble. So again, I like this because dilemma, do you kill the little babies? Or are these babies so cute that you just can't do it? And I don't know. And plus, facing two of these things, I don't know if that's happening. I don't know if that's going to go too well for the adventuring party. But
yeah, I definitely kill the babies.
I knew you would.
Yeah,
say that.
No, they can't survive. Can't already two I have to kill that are big. I'm not gonna have two more big ones to kill down the road.
And it's kind of interesting too that a goat farmer, so a goat is part of a chimera. How does the goat, how do you think the goat part feels about all this goat murdering going on?
I bet it gets a tummy ache. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that is the adventure seed. Joey, if you had to run a chimera at your table, do you have any ideas?
I do.
Okay, cool. 'Cause I don't.
I mean, like, so I mean, like, yeah, the chimera is. Look, guys, we're older. The chimera was cool and exciting, like in the 3rd grade, right? But now, I think what would be fun and exciting to do with a chimera is to have the party be part of the experimentation that made one. So I would have like a wizard give them the quest of, I need this snake from this part of the forest. I need you to go buy a goat from, a ranch, and I need you to capture a lion from the mountains. And there were wild lions in old England and stuff. So if you're like, lions only live in Africa and the savannah, no, they didn't. They were in a lot more places. We just killed them out of existence because they were chimeras. Probably they turned into chimeras. So I would probably just do a not very creative adventure, but I would let the party be the ones who help the wizard create the chimera, and then they have to deal with the chimera right then and there. And perhaps the wizard.
I really like that idea. I'm curious, though, do you think... So my issue always with these classical creatures is that there's a... Granted, if you have good players, this really isn't a thing. And if they're in RP, but like everybody knows what a chimera is. Do you think the players... like, how would you handle that, you think? How would you tease that out in such a way where maybe it's not super obvious as to what's going on? Or do you
I don't think you could.
Yeah.
Only someone who's, like Ted the accountant who just wants to get away from his wife for the weekend. You convinced him to come hang out and play some D&D or Dragonbane. Maybe he might not suspect the chimera, but I think anyone who has even played like an RPG video game, they're going to know what's up.
Yeah. Thinking out loud here, I think maybe a possibility might be to, rather than the players collecting these items, maybe like there's this goat herder, right? And the wizard cleverly tells the players to, I don't know, maybe there's some plot afoot to eliminate the goat herder or something like that. Basically freeing up the opportunity for the wizard to go then take these animals or these creatures away. Same thing with a serpent in some way. So maybe you could kind of like do it that way. I don't know. That might be kind of hard to. I'd have to think about it a little bit to plan it out in terms of like it's sort of a byproduct of what the quest is versus the quest itself. But I don't know.
If I wanted to do it long game, if we're talking about let's make this a whole part of a campaign.
Yeah,
it's an evil wizard who is an advisor to the king. The king's flag, like his emblem, is a lion. They have lions. They use lions as mounts for their generals and their army. And the wizard's familiar is already a snake. So basically, he has the party just go get a particular goat. Maybe it's, you know how like they have like mystical white stags in the forest. Yeah. Maybe it's like a mystical goat in the mountain, and the quest is just to get that goat. So then the party's like, okay, he wants this goat, and maybe it's like a seer goat. It's like an all-seeing, clairvoyant goat, and they go and get it. And then, but this is a campaign that's been going on, so like the party is friends with the king. They know the king's lion. Maybe the lion has even helped them in fights at times. Like there was a giant, and the lion came to their rescue because he likes them. And then when they bring the wizard advisor the goat, that's when he betrays everybody and turns the beloved king's lion, this all-seeing goat, and his familiar snake into the chimera. And I'd make it a little more powerful because it's a special lion, it's a special goat, and it's his own magic, powerful, concocted snake serpent. So it would be, maybe I'd give it more hit points and give it the armor I was talking about, and it's like a big final fight against that and the wizard.
Damn, that would be crazy. Yeah, that's campaign level stuff. Or hear about how about this? A circus, traveling circus. I know you're partial to those. Or a carnival of some kind where maybe there's some red herring creatures. So this wizard or something, or like you said, in the fact maybe there's a king or a duke or some kind of royalty who wants to create this celebration, and they want to have these fierce animals that are present, right, for all of the kingdom to enjoy or whatever. Yeah. And you got a goat, you got a lion, you got some serpents, but you have some red herring stuff, right? Some other creatures in the mix to where it feels like perhaps, maybe everybody would have to put two and two together to figure out, oh, maybe this wizard's up to something. Right. I'd say that's another idea to rip off your go-to.
Every time there's going to be a carnival.
Carnival, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, awesome. Well, there's some ideas for you guys. Let us know how you would run a chimera at your table. I'm curious if you had any. I've never run one personally, but it would be fun. It'd be interesting to at least try the classic chimera. But I don't think we have any art or any content or anything like that for chimera, right? Unless I missed something. So we got nothing this week. And maybe this is just payback because we forgot the Chaos Demon submission in our email. So anyway, if you guys would like to submit any kind of content to us to be featured on the channel, email us at archivistofadventure@gmail.com, or better yet, join our Discord server. Link is down below. DM me, DM Joey. You can drop it. We have a Bestiary Boys channel there. You can drop it there. Unless you want it to be secret, send it to us privately. And we'll definitely see it there.
We're very active on Discord.
Yeah, we're very active on the Discord. So come hang out with us if you'd like. And that's Chimera. This last part of the show or the episode, we talk about Chimera in media. But I honestly, nothing comes to mind for me about chimeras.
So chimeras they're just a mixture of animals, right? And I mean, there's lots of chimeras and the creatures that are chimera like. Did you ever see the movie Annihilation?
Oh yeah, of course. It's one of my favorite books of all time.
So there's chimeras in that.
Sure. Okay, I got you. I was thinking like classical one, but totally that's a good call. There's tons of chimeras in there where they're like mixtures of animals for sure.
And if you really want to be uh, what's another one I can think off the top of my head? Technically, the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World is a chimera. It's like a mix of different dinosaurs and other animals. A cuttlefish. Who knew a cuttlefish could be so deadly? So they do exist. But like yeah, they're not super popular.
They're not super popular. I do like that idea more though, rather than like taking the one out of the book or Greek mythology. Like, just mix some monsters up, because it'd be. I mean, you could even use the format of the attacks here if you want, and then just easily, bit by bit. You could even add like a fourth freaking head in there or body in there, and eliminate the fear.
Or you could go guns blazing and take the quote: a dragon, a giant, and a full-grown sea serpent.
There you go. Good idea. That's insane. The Mage's Apprentice. He knew well. Like, why are you messing around with a goat, a serpent, and a lion, man? Go all in. All right. Well, that's Chimera. Dragonbane's Chimera anyway. And don't forget, if you guys have other monster manuals you want us to cover, granted, we're just kind of working our way through Dragonbane, but we can always pause and hop into something else if you guys have a specific creature to go through. Otherwise, we'll kind of keep powering through until we hear otherwise. But let's talk about next week's creature.
Oh yeah, next week's creature is a good one. I think it is the fairy. Bunny Cat Likes was talking about fairies.
She was. Bunny Cat Likes was wondering when we were going to get fairies, or actually talking about covering a dark fairy. We'll see next week how dark Dragonbane's fairies are, or if they're nice, pleasant fairies. I haven't read the entry yet, so I'm hopefully they have something cool up their sleeves.
Yeah, I haven't read it either.
Cool. Well, that is Chimera. That's it for us, Joey. Thanks as always, man, for talking through all this stuff and all your cool ideas. And we will see you guys next week with fairies.
Thank you.